Do you believe he quit against Usyk in the first fight?
There are arguments, and there are a lot of people out there who think that Fury won one, if not two of them fights. So
What?
there's no dispute
Who
about
thinks
our
that?
man in
John?
his last 3 fights.
If he is to shock the world, and it would be a shock, I'm telling you now, Tyson Fury will be on Sunday morning screaming his name.
This is the debate. 4 opinions, 2 teams. Each round, a question is thrown down, and there's no time to think. It's a low blow.
The navel's essentially your
What's your thoughts, Carl?
I thought it was all right.
Our guests draw a fighter at random and must defend them, regardless of their personal opinion.
Please, please.
The pressure's real. The clock is ticking. This one's guaranteed to catch fire.
What are you going to say
This gets better as we go along.
Let us know who you thought won in the comments below.
Taking the lad.
July 19th, 2 heavyweights clash once again. Oleksandr Usyk versus Daniel Dubois for all the marbles, live on the DAZN pay-per-view. Right, teammate, Carl Frampton.
How are you, mate?
We're good?
Smashies too.
You pick on someone your own size, lad. Jesus Christ.
Tony Bellew, Sonny Kay. We're good,
Sonny,
lads?
what's going on, champ? Let's get to work.
We know the drill. Right,
Bring it
first
on.
question.
Why does your fighter have more to prove in the rematch?
Go on, Tom.
Oh, okie dokie.
Who's starting?
I'll be deadly honest here. I don't think this man's got anything to prove. This is going to be
Well,
a
that's
risk.
not the- that's not the
I know.
deal.
That's not the question.
the question, is it?
Okay, all right. Has he still got it? Can he still compete at the highest level? Eventually, that we hear the saying all the time, Father Time waits for no man.
Yeah.
You know, how many more times can he keep churning out performances, especially against a man who's on the
Do you
form?
know
of
what
him?
he's got to prove? He's got to prove, and I don't believe this, by the way, but I know a lot of fans, and I get stopped all the time about that shot.
Yeah.
Is it low? Is it? He's got to prove that he can take whatever Daniel Dubois throws at him and basically get rid of him
Which
again.
team you on?
No, that's what he's got to prove. As for
Do you
this
think
man,
he's going to go into this fight? Do you remember your mate, Rocky, when he puts the elbows out and he's letting whoever hit him to the body just
Listen,
to prove he can take a body shot?
for Daniel Dubois has got a lot of demons to revisit, and he's going to revisit them in this fight. I think he's in a different place mentally now than he was before the first fight. I don't want to say he's grown up and mature, because I think he's the same fighter as he was. He's just, his mental approach is going to have to be different. So let's be honest, the question that was given to us, it's all about Daniel Dubois. This is it. Oleksandr Usyk cannot be questioned in any way, shape or form, whether it's going to your backyard, whether it's, can he do this? He's ticked every box he's ever came across. Our man here, Daniel Dubois, hasn't, but of recent has. So we've seen him do the wrong things in the past. We've seen him take a knee, whatever have you. But the best way to explain Daniel Dubois is he's a 27-year-old veteran. He's experienced everything the boxing can throw at him. He's been dropped, he's been down, he's been stopped, and he's found a way back. And he's now on the back of his biggest ever victories. He's on his best ever run. You know, the victory over AJ was something else.
I'm going to make the case for our man here, what he has to prove. And I think that obviously there was a lot of debate around the last shot. There's been talk of going way back to the amateur days that Usyk doesn't like him to the belly.
Better be if.
The theory coming out from Team Usyk was that the shot was an illegal shot below the belt.
What's your thoughts on, do you believe it was illegal? I do.
I thought it was illegal or legal.
I thought it was illegal. It's called a protector for a reason.
Yeah.
He hits the protector.
It's illegal.
Yeah, it's below the navel.
It's a low blow.
The navel's essentially your
What's your thoughts, Carl?
I thought it was all right.
Did you?
Yeah, but I'm back on my man, so
No. We've all got to go on. We've all got to accept this right now. Was it good for you? It wasn't good. It wasn't a good shot for me. So
It wasn't a good shot for me.
It's called a protector for a reason. Simple as that. That's the only that it's called a protector. He hit.
people
the
wore them
protector.
high.
What's
though,
your man
didn't
got
they?
They do,
prove?
mate. They do, and I've
Yeah.
seen it before. But do you think that was high? I didn't think it was high. It's very rarely high, if I'm being totally honest. Yeah.
Essentially, he lost every round, our man, in the first fight, and the only glimpse of hope that he had was that low blow, which I think was a low blow. So yes, he's coming into this. He's got everything to prove. And also, he's got a lot to prove because everyone's so high on him now. No one's ever been this high on Danny Dubois after his
He's a better fighter now than he was then.
Yeah,
He's better for the experience.
Three
isn't
good
he?
wins, and he's coming in this, the main man. So a lot of people are expecting him to win. So it's a lot of
But do
pressure on
you
his
think,
shoulders.
does anyone give him a chance after 6 rounds. That for me, I think Daniel Dubois' big chance here is the first 6.
He carries his power late though.
No, he does, but
slows down a bit, doesn't he?
It's not that he slows down. It's up here with me.
Well, yeah, you're right.
It's all the problems are all up here because I think as a fighting specimen, as an athletic specimen, the boy's a machine.
Why does your fighter have the stronger mindset?
Oh, Van, please.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Daniel Dubois.
Okay.
What are you going to say
This gets better as we go along.
Az has got the stronger mindset because he knows, our man Daniel Dubois knows that Usyk is getting older. Daniel Dubois is on a run of form, which is exceptional of late. I know Usyk's had a good run of form as well, but there are arguments and there are a lot of people out there who think that Fury won one, if not 2 of them fights. So
What?
there's no dispute
Who
about
thinks
our
that?
man in
John?
his last 3 fights. You know full well there's people out there. So on that basis, yeah.
I can't make a case for him. One thing I can say is this man has suffered catastrophic defeats and that have questioned not just his career, but they've questioned his mentality for the sport. To come back from them takes an awful lot of mental strength, and he has come back from them. The man to our right in the great Oleksandr Usyk has never tasted defeat.
No.
So we don't know we don't know how men.
If there's a fighter on the planet, if someone says to me which fighter on the planet right now has the best mentality, the most mental strength, I would say this man.
Agreed.
I mean, he's
Bulletproof.
just bulletproof. He is bulletproof, and I think that nothing gets under his skin. You see people trying to wind him up. He laughs it off. He's a fan base throughout the world. He's supported globally. He's dealing with a war going on at the minute in his country. Mentally, the strongest maybe there's ever been.
100%. With the accolades that he has under his belt, you can't not be 110% truly
He's the only
believing in
It's
yourself.
got to diminish at some point, though.
Yeah.
No,
It's got to start going
It
downhill.
won't be. See, with someone like Oleksandr, who's only going to be age. This man is the only fighter in the history of boxing to go to everybody's backyard and dethrone them.
Yeah. Beating killers in their backyard.
Beat them up.
Remember,
He's the only fighter. No, I'm
joined our team.
I'm looking like
no, but I'm
I look like a right dick over here, just standing up for him.
I'm telling you why he's a freak. He's an anomaly. He's a unicorn.
Yeah,
but,
let me say
at the same time, for him, like I've said before, now this is a really massive point because we don't know if he's capable of this or not yet. We don't know because he hasn't lost. What he's gone through and what he's took on board and to come back from it, that's a different type of mental strength.
Yeah, I'll ask you then, right? So,
He's a mentally strong
do you believe he quit against Usyk in the first fight?
Absolutely. Well, do I believe Daniel Dubois quit?
Yeah. Okay, and have you
I
said
think he
this
had
before?
enough, yeah.
If that quit is there, it's in you.
The first time's the hardest. That's a fact. The first time you quit is the hardest. It's only gets
do you
easier
think
going
he can
forward.
quit again?
Of course I do, because he's done it once.
He can't do it again. But
Of course
I
he can.
think mentally he's in a better place now
He
than
is.
he was then, but not better than this man.
No, I agree.
And I have a theory as well. I think the shot was okay. I think that if the referee starts counting, Usyk gets back up
Yeah, he does.
and wins the fight anyway.
Yeah, he
but he
does.
just used his experience and took a rest.
couple of
which
minutes,
is,
because you're having a good round, and
Yeah.
I'm just going to have a little break.
yeah.
Why is your fighter the more dangerous man this time around?
Our fighter is the most dangerous man this time around based on the fact of they have opponents in common. We've seen the job he done with AJ. We've seen the job Oleksandr done twice with AJ. Based on that performance alone, I think our man.
I think Arman's the most dangerous man because he's got a chip on his shoulder from the last fight. There's still people saying that Dubois should have won that fight. You should have been counted out, blah, blah, blah. Now, I do think if the referee starts counting, he does get up and he goes on to win the fight. But there'll be something, a wee nag in
He
his
doesn't
brain
like him, does
somewhere.
he?
No, I don't think he does
doesn't
like him. He doesn't like the team either.
George Fox ain't on his Christmas list, is he?
And I think he feels like that maybe it's something different. People aren't normally like this with Usyk.
And he doesn't dislike anyone.
No, and but he's a point to prove this time, and I think for that reason, that's why he's more dangerous.
And I just think form. Don't get me wrong, this man's form is brilliant, but that man is in his form. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In his last fights.
I don't think
Two
you can
against Fury.
not look at his destructive last 3 fights, though. The destruction that he put down on all 3 of them and not go.
The one punch power lies with him.
Usyk, there's that man there.
Agreed.
He's a monster. He's just on another level.
It can't be disputed, though. The one punch power lies with him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's just no question about that. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's got to land it first and foremost. But with the confidence that he has at this moment in time, like coming into this fight, he's never been so confident. He believes he can knock King Kong out. How do you approach the
fight if you're Dubois?
For me, he comes in and does what he done in the last couple of fights. It's kill or be killed. That's the approach. That's the approach he has to have. He cannot get into a boxing match with this man because you are not on the same level. He cannot get into a fencing match.
He'll go to the body as well, Tony, but they'll know that. Usyk will know that's what they'll target.
And if he does fight like that, does that favour our man?
Quite possibly.
Does he not risk blowing himself out? Doing what he did against AJ?
But my thing in this fight is if Daniel Dubois does go to the body and he flies at him, do we all agree that can Oleksandr Usyk actually hurt Daniel Dubois early with actual shots? Can he knock Daniel Dubois out? Basically, I'm saying.
Well,
what do we believe?
Put him down with a jab.
He did, but I think that's a
mental thing. I don't think he can knock him spark out.
Because we've seen AJ catch him.
Maybe as he gets a bit tired.
AJ caught Daniel Dubois clean he took it. And I would make AJ probably the 3rd biggest puncher in the world.
I'm saying he could, division. I think with his speed and accuracy, if he was to catch him cold early, where anybody can get hurt.
I just think this fight, he's a confidence fighter. The minute he gets confidence, he's on the front foot. He's a bully. He's a flat track bully. And when he gets confidence, he's a better fighter.
When it starts going against them, that's why our man.
That's what he's going to do.
He is
Tony's
aging.
back on our team.
If he is aging, though, and his reactions are slowing down, Daniel is going to get him.
Yeah.
Why has your fighter learned more from the first fight?
Right, I'll tell you now.
Why has he learned more?
If this man gets a few rounds under his belt against somebody, he's going to be even better. He's an absolute genius. So if you give him, albeit this man's a different fighter now, you give him rounds to sort of get an idea of how you fight, game over.
He's like a typical, if you go back, I mean, he was an amazing amateur boxer as well. And a lot of the top amateurs, if they have tight fights with an opponent, typically they learn from that first one and they'll box the head off him, they adapt. I mean, there's no one more adaptable than this man. So I think from the first fight, he will know everything there is to know about Daniel Dubois.
I think this man's learnt more in the sense that he's learnt so much about himself after that first fight, because I could never say the word quit because I don't do what you boys do, but he chose to not carry on. But since then, he's learnt to have some serious heart about him, and we've seen him come through the adversity in the Miller fight, in the Hrgovic fight, so he's learnt so much since then, and they must be Don Charles has installed this
serious
I think it is. Motivation in him now to not ever give up when the...
But has he learnt to become a better fighter? Because I think we said it in one of the other ones.
It's obvious he's much better.
He lost pretty much every round in that fight, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he may have learnt how to overcome difficult times, but has he learnt to become a better boxer?
I'm not looking at him now and think he's a better fighter.
He is. Daniel Dubois is a better fighter than he was when he first faced Usyk. I think we all agree on that. The biggest factor...
In what way? Explain.
He's a lot more aggressive. He's a lot more direct in his approach. He knows what he needs to do to win
as far
fights.
as skill, a better fighter in the sense that he could outbox this man or win rounds against this man.
No, matter who he goes to, no trainer can turn him into Floyd Mayweather.
But I think the trainer he's linked up with, and Don Charles,
is doing better for him.
Don is... There's trainers I think that suit certain, like Don Charles, a trainer of heavyweights.
Yes.
You don't have him with a flyweight.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm arguing against my man.
Tony, I think, listen, it's quite simple, right? This isn't hard to work out. When it comes to Daniel Dubois, he's got to look at Oleksandr Usyk and go, how do I win this fight? Now, we all know that what Oleksandr Usyk does, he starts fights slow. He has a look. Daniel Dubois has to go into that fight and go, I have to leap all over this boy in the first 3 rounds, and his confidence will grow. If Oleksandr Usyk comes out and starts quick, that's an absolute disaster for Daniel Dubois, because, like I said before, he's a confidence-based fighter.
I bet he does.
I'm not sure he does. I think he comes out and he has a look and he thinks, what are you? Because it's more about, he's got the boxing brain. he's going to want to look at him and think, what are you going to do to beat
He
him?
has got that brain, and he understands that he is a confident fighter.
Do you
You
think
can't
that-
let him get the
Yeah,
confidence.
but
You cannot allow him to.
his plan will be draw him, keep drawing him, pop him off, drop him off, draw him, and after 6 rounds are gone, he'll look to put.
Do you
put on
think
the gas.
Daniel has the mentality to be able to be 4 rounds down after
No.
4 rounds and then relax and think about his power?
Say fucking yes.
Boss would say no.
And then go, I'm going to get him at some point.
I don't think he's got that in his locker, but what I do think he's got in his locker is he's going to start quick, because look at how quick he started in the AJ fight.
Why does your fighter end this fight in a KO?
That doesn't help, does it? Upside down.
Newfound belief, power. He carries power late,
Carries his
too
power.
strong. He's a unit. I just feel this man's getting older.
He knows he can hurt Usyk as well, whether you agree with the shot was low or not low.
See, Carl thinks the shot was okay,
I think it was okay.
but if Carl was on the receiving end of that, it definitely wasn't okay.
Screaming in the shower.
He's rolling around again a couple
You're
of
right.
minutes himself.
You're right, but I think that he knows that although Usyk was winning the fight and in control, and the way it ended, we weren't happy, and there was questions raised about Daniel again. He's definitely a better fighter now than he was then.
Agreed.
But he has something in there, and in his head, he's thinking, I can get this guy. I can hurt him to the body. I think Daniel, like me, believes that shot was fine, and he'll go, I'm just going to target the body again.
Possibly, but if he did believe that shot was fine, there's a reason why didn't he go right back at it? And no, I'm being relentless.
Who's the biggest
Because he had a
puncher?
5-minute rest.
Who's the
That's why.
biggest puncher in the heavyweight division?
With one shot.
Probably between Dubois and
Deontay
Zhang.
Wilder.
Zhang?
With
Zhang's
one,
up there.
with
Still
one shot.
Wilder.
With one shot,
Not
Deontay
anymore,
Wilder.
though. He's,
But you'd put him in the argument.
With one shot, no one hits harder than Deontay
yeah,
Wilder.
but back
Okay,
then,
but he-
but that was 5 years ago.
I agree with you, but if you was to put these guys on a machine, I'm telling you now, he's a freak, Deontay Wilder.
But he's in the argument.
yes.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
Yeah.
But our
It
man
was- he's right.
essentially has knocked him out. He kept him down. I know it wasn't a clean knockout as such, but he took a 10 count, he put him down with a jab. So our man is full of confidence in knocking Daniel Dubois out this time. And also I think he, having seen his last fight against AJ, how he come in all guns blazing, I think if he does that this time, he is going to blow himself out completely. And I think that's going to be Usyk's reign from the sort of 5th round onwards. And I think he's probably going to stop him again.
This man's now shown that size is irrelevant. He's proven it. You can be as big as you want, be as heavy as you want. I'm still going to beat you. He's the first.
He nearly knocked out
Look at the
Fury.
face, Dave.
Mate,
He's looking old.
Yeah, he looks
Oh,
ancient.
he
Look at that.
He looks
He's-
old,
he's the
doesn't he?
first.
He's looking old.
This man is the first.
I hope you don't watch this.
This fella is the first guy in the heavyweight division who has ever eradicated size. No one has
And
ever been
age.
able to do it. David Hay done it
Rocky
against.
Marciano.
There was no huge heavyweights.
No,
I mean,
there
Primo Carrera was a
Mike
big one.
Tyson just fought the other day as well.
Yeah, but this guy is this guy's beating the big man at their own game, bullying
Yeah,
him.
no, oh, yeah.
No one's ever done it before in the heavyweight division. It's like Evander Holyfield tried it, just wasn't big enough, wasn't good enough to beat the likes of Lennox Lewis. You couldn't outman them. This guy went in against one of the biggest heavyweights in the history of the game, in Tyson Fury, and dominated him twice. Second time was closer than the first, I agree, but he still done it in the same manner, against all odds, in a way that no one could foresee. If he can push Tyson Fury back the way he did, he can push anyone back.
Where does your fighter go next if they win?
Oh, yeah.
Where does he go next? Well, he'll be undisputed champion of the heavyweight division. I'd imagine there'll be some sort of rematch clause in there, so Usyk would want it again. I don't think he'd be able to let it lie if he lost his fight, Usyk. But
Straight away,
If,
I'm just saying Joseph Parker.
yeah, if you're Daniel Dubois, you owe Joseph Parker
Yeah.
a fight. You really do.
The world owes Joseph Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The whole
massively.
heavyweight division owes Joseph Parker, so I'll just say that straight away now.
He
Everyone,
gets his arm raised and he sails off into the sunset.
I think if this guy wins, he's literally done it all. He'll be.
Yeah.
would you want Joseph Parker's name on your ledger, though?
I mean,
the
maybe
last one,
possibly,
isn't
maybe
No,
Parker is
yeah,
the
probably
only
will.
one, but
Yeah.
I knowing him, he probably will. But if I was him, what he's done at cruiserweight, what he's done at heavyweight,
Yeah.
he's cleaned out all the top guys, minus Joe Parker, because he hasn't had the opportunity yet. Now, I love Big Joe, but you would have to favour Usyk in a fight against Joe. But for me, if I'm Usyk, I don't even like this game. I hated this game. I had to get out. I've done it. I've completed it. I've done
loves it.
Yeah, do you know what? I might be
it.
making a U-turn now. I might be saying Parker, then retire.
Yeah.
Parker, then retire. Then you've beaten basically
I
everyone.
interviewed him. He asked me to interview him, so I interviewed him at the on the O2 on the big circle thing in London, the London Eye, and he basically told me, you know what I mean? Stop taking the off, lad. So I interviewed him on the London Eye, and he basically said to me, he asked me a couple of questions. I asked him first, what's left? He said 2 more fights. Then he asked me, how's retirement? What's it like? That tells me it's in his mind. He knows it's coming.
Pereira.
He knows it's coming. I mean,
He's talking about what?
He was talking about Alex Pereira when you interviewed him.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
But obviously he lost
and
now.
Jai Opetaia as well, but he said he now understands he can't never
There
go
was
back
talk
to
about him
cruiserweight.
going to cruiser, wasn't there? There was a bit of was conversation.
He said
wasn't
that
there?
to me in an interview before he fought Tyson Fury for the first time. He wants to go back down and reign again, but he now understands there's no way his body could do
I'll tell
it.
you what though, if he was to win,
If he's to win, wow.
he's still
So
got
many
years.
big fights. So
He's got years.
He's got another
years to
10
go.
years left in him.
I'll tell you, I've got a problem with old Edward Hearn thinking AJ can just come straight in and face Daniel Dubois again.
No,
That's not fair, is it?
It's not that it's not fair, but it's the biggest fight for him. Market-wise, it's the biggest.
Yeah,
it's
but
that's
on
the only
merit,
reason.
it's so not fair.
No, Sonny, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It's not
Yeah.
fair, but life's not fair.
Yeah, true.
And it's like you know, if the Champions League could go tomorrow, right? We've got 2 teams. Real Madrid's going to be there every single time. It's going to be a different name to go with them, but it's going to be Real Madrid. And like, I'm sorry to say, Anthony
Liverpool.
Joshua or Tyson Fury is that name with them.
Real Madrid and Liverpool, Tony.
Oh, I don't know about
That's
that.
a question, isn't it?
Barcelona.
If we're all under the impression that Tyson Fury ain't done,
Yeah.
if Dubois wins,
Is
he bang interested in that,
Of course he
Tyson?
is. He's back. Fury's
Is he?
back. If Dubois to win, and like I say, I'm not writing Dubois off because I will never write Daniel Dubois off fully because he has a puncher's chance against anybody. So you can't write him off. If he is to shock the world, and it would be a shock, then I'm telling you now, Tyson Fury will be on Sunday morning screaming his name from the rooftops.
Why is your fighter going to be the more supported by the fans?
Yes. I think this is a good one for us.
Okay, I'll start. I think the reason Daniel Dubois will have immense support, first of all, it's in London. He's got hometown support. Secondly, they know he's been through trials and tribulations. He's had ups and downs throughout his career. He's shown that he can come back. And last but not least, this country loves nothing more than an underdog. This is the country of the underdog. I mean, from your likes of your Frank Brunos, turning things over, you know, how many attempts you needed to get the job done, myself. There's loads of us. It goes back and back. But he will have this huge support on the night and he will be right behind him.
I get all that and I agree to a certain extent, but I think this man's globally and universally loved. Everybody loves him. I love him. I mean, I'm a fan of Daniel Dubois as well, but I love everything about this guy. I think he's funny, his personality, his character, how he fights. And I feel, and I actually said this and I believe it. I'm not just saying it because now I have to back him here, but I have a feeling, and I asked Usyk this when I interviewed him as well, you know, Tony? When
That's right, lad.
And I asked him, do you think you're going to have more support on the night than Daniel in London, where he's from? He said, maybe. He doesn't know. But he will have a lot of support.
He will.
And even if it's not in the arena, globally, around the world.
He's loved everywhere.
Yeah.
It's nothing worse than being beat up by someone who you think's a lovely fella.
Do you know what I'm going to do as well? Like, I'm going to sort of go down a different direction for this man. And it's, look, we've got unbelievable fans in the UK and they really appreciate their fighters and they understand that this man is coming to the end of his career. It's not going to be long, a fight or two, and he retires. And that is the end of witnessing greatness.
He said so it could be last one.
Yeah, you can't help but support that. Support that legacy, support that hero. And I think although your man there is British, fighting in his home city, I just think they're going to be out in numbers supporting, cheering his name for what he's done in the sport of
Listen,
boxing.
there'll be Brits who'll turn up and want to support him.
100%.
But the old familiarity.
There'll be Brits supporting him.
Yeah.
Familiarity breeds contempt, though. There'll be a lot of people out there who are bit sick of him being at the top of the division, looking for the underdog to take home.
There will be other people that know that this kid can come again, and he's young enough.
Yeah,
and he'll have another chance.
You know what? The British boxing crowd is a strange one because, like I said, they can boo you in and cheer you out. So you won't know which way it's going to go on the night because, as Carl said before, he is globally loved, and a huge part of his fan base is already resides here because guess what? He's bashed everyone from here.
Yeah.
And sometimes he takes by bashing you the way he does and being so humility and being so nice the way he is when he wins them fights, they then become his fans.
We've adopted him. Predictions, Sonny, go on.
Yeah, prediction-wise, sorry, Daniel. But I can only favour Usyk again based on what happened last time. I know he's been looking very good, Daniel Dubois, in the last few fights. He's been looking exceptional. But at the end of the day, I just got to bring it back to Miller's a walking punch bag. Hrgovic doesn't move his head, and he's very slow.
Gases as well.
Yeah, and Anthony Joshua he had a terrible night, Joshua. Daniel got him in the first round. That was it. So, and then prior to that, it was a case of Usyk winning every round bar the low blow. So I can't see any other difference this time, and I think he may just sort of go a bit over-eager and
it'll be detrimental.
Blow himself out a little bit more than he did last time. So it's an Usyk win for me.
I think it'll be a harder fight this time for Oleksandr Usyk. I do think he'll win, but I'm going to predict he has to get off the floor.
Ooh.
I think he's going to have to get off the floor.
From a head or body shot?
I don't know what it'll be, but I think he's definitely going to have to get off the floor. I just think Daniel Dubois
tackling him.
I just think he will start so fast, and he will not start quick. He might move and adapt and get round a little bit faster, but he will have a good look before he starts getting about you, and that's just what he does. He likes to have a proper diligent look, and I think when he's having that look in them first couple of rounds where he's going to find himself on the floor, and then I think he'll come alive, and then I think he'll get rid of Daniel Dubois late.
I don't think I'm ever going to back against this man again. I did it twice in the Fury fights and got it wrong. And I thought size was going to be the issue for him, but even in the second fight when he kind of got close to Fury and bullied the bigger man at times, I think his mental strength is second to none. I think he's so determined. It's almost like he has to win this fight.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. I think it's a harder fight than the first fight, and I do give Daniel a chance, and I genuinely believe he has a chance. He's a better fighter now than he was the first time, mentally stronger as well. But I'm never backing against Usyk again. I think he figures you out and he finds a way.
I can't bet against this man. I can't go against him. He doesn't know how to lose. Does not know how to lose, and I don't think he will. And I think when he retires, which will be soon, he will be in that argument as one of the greatest to ever lace up.
He's already got a say in it, does.
He's already got a say in it, but I think there will be a strong case that he will be in everybody's top three. Greatest ever fighters for what he's done in the amateurs, the cruiserweight division, the heavyweight division.
People don't talk about it enough. I've said this before. People don't like to talk about fighters being all-time greats while they're still in their career. They leave it to 10 or 20 years after. But what he's done and as cleaned out the cruiserweight division away from home, the heavyweights, a lot of them away from home.
That's a big thing, the away from home as well.
He's a unicorn. It's never been done.
Yeah.
It's in the history of our sport. It's never been done. And he just goes to everyone's backyard and bounces them. That's what he does. And then, the Olympic Games, the World Championships, going in with the likes of Russo, he lost one of the fights to Russo, and he just comes back and avenges it. People don't realise how difficult what he's done is. He's won every medal he could possibly win for his country. And he's just, listen, I sparred with him as an amateur. I knew what I was getting in with. I didn't learn me lesson, what a dope I am. But I know how good he is. And I've never, ever, and I've been around some brilliant fights over these. I've fought some top fighters. I've been around the camps of Cubans, sparring Cubans when I was training. No one's on his level.
Levels above.
I don't know how it's like he's downloading what you're doing and then he's working it out, how he's going to use it against you. I've never seen it before. And I wouldn't say this unless I've been in with him, because I've been in with him, I know. And I was at my absolute peak and best when I faced him. And no one's even close. Whether I'd sparred him and I'd been in with, I'd say the likes of David, and I'd sparred David just before he became world champion. All of these fighters I've been in with and spent time around, No one gets close to him. He's a freak. He's an anomaly. He's a unicorn, all them things. When he walks away from boxing, believe you me, when we're all old, really old, we're all going to say, I was around when he was around. You should have seen him.
Yeah.
You should have seen him. Like when our dad speak about Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, we're going to go, should have seen this fella.
Yeah.
And that's what we should, like Carlos just said, that's what we should be doing now.
And last thing
Embrace
I
it.
think he's smart enough to know his body. I don't think he'd be taking this fight if he knew he was over the hill.
I agree.
So
Because it affects his legacy, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I completely agree with that.
I think that, but listen, there's a true saying, the fighter is always the last to know. A very true saying, mate. The fighter is always the last to know. And I just don't, I hope it's not, because I wouldn't want to see him go out like that.
Performing in his camps and that now, or he was in the gym, somebody would say you're slowing down.
I would assume that he goes by numbers, and he's got an algorithm through training camp that he expects to hit, and the numbers that he expects to hit. But ultimately, as Darren will tell you, camp is different to getting in the night. It can just be gone overnight. I've seen it with too many fighters over the years where they were brilliant in the last fight and then they're just old overnight. It's like you see it time and time again. Josh Warrington comes to mind. He went from smashing the life out of everyone to just one night. He's done.
Yeah.
It's hard for him to get it back. So that does happen. I hope it doesn't happen to him, because I wouldn't like to see him go out like that. But we'll never know. Only the fight, like I said, the fight is the last to know. So hopefully it's not, but an amazing fight.
The rematch, July 19th, Wembley Stadium, live on DAZN pay-per-view, your global home of boxing.